Now, after the defeat of Grendel comes a great deal of rejoicing, of course, the fact that they've defeated this tremendous troll, this tremendous monster that's been plaguing the hall for so long. But then Hrothgar tells these stories, one of Sigemund and one of Hermod, and they're stories that are in some ways to show to everybody else what a good king ought to be. They are stories that would have been popular at the time of the Scop, the poet who writes Beowulf, and he's taking these stories and incorporating them into his poem. Nevertheless, the way they're used here is very skillful, because what Hrothgar is suggesting is that Sigemund and Hermod give the positive and negative ways to be a king. Sigemund defeats a dragon, stands up to a dragon, is able to defeat this tremendous dragon, shows tremendous courage, great strength in the face of almost certain defeat. And Hermod, on the other hand, who's given all these gifts, it says that he takes them for granted. He begins to take for granted all those things that are given to him. And Hrothgar points out that taking things for granted is the path to destruction. It's the path to a person being annihilated. Because, as he says, once you start taking things for granted, then you think more is due to you. And you don't appreciate what's given to you anymore. And you move from being generous or gracious to being covetous and clinging. And as I said earlier, those two routes in the mind of the Norse are the distinguishing marks between the good king or the hero and the evil king or the dragon or the troll. The good king or the hero is somebody who's gracious, as we saw very early in the book, at the very beginning of the story. Skilsgefing is a character who's very generous and gracious. But the other route, which is the clinging and the selfishness, is the route that leads to a dragonish life. A man doesn't have to be looking like a dragon to be a dragon. In this story, for instance, Hermod ends up killing his neighbors, killing his friends, killing even his family, which is a terrible thing in Norse mythology. He kills his own family members, and he does so because he's covetous. He becomes a troll-like character, a dragon-like character. And Hrothgar is suggesting to Beowulf, don't be this way. Cherish what you have, be gracious, maintain that strength that you showed when defeating Grendel. After he's told these tales, Hrothgar goes then to give gifts to Beowulf, to adopt him almost like his own son. And we'll see that in the next section.